Very good morning. My name is Dan Schulze. Thanks a lot for the introduction. I'm director of business development at Qualcomm. Qualcomm is a chipset company, but we also work intensively with carriers and developers to best understand and deliver on market requirements. So before I actually start, let me first of all say thank you for a few reasons. First of all, and this is to Michael and the entire team for organizing this event and having us here. Then second, thanks to all of you for showing up at this time, despite yesterday's party. So I recognize quite a few faces that have been there even much longer than myself. So thanks a lot for this. And last but not least, also thank you for my previous speakers giving some very inspiring and insightful presentations on different aspects of app development and app distribution. Today I want to briefly talk about some relevant trends we see as Qualcomm in the mobile space. Then I also want to present some complementary technologies which we offer to developers in order to improve user experience and make the smartphone even more appealing for end users. And last but not least, I also want to briefly describe how we actually support developers in deploying these technologies. So, today, most of the devices we all have in our pockets, they have more processing power than the first shuttle that landed on the moon. So, as a result of this, we have very rich opportunities already for communication, interaction, to consume any type of content or enjoy professional services. We strongly believe that mobile technologies will further drive the overall user experience. And on this slide, you see on the screen, you see a couple of trends we see as a Qualcomm. So we strongly believe, for example, that our smartphone will understand the identity. So we'll know who's actually using the smartphone. We'll understand the preferences and interests, understand where we are, what we are doing at this point in time, at this location, and make respective recommendations or even take some actions, such as switching on, switching off Wi-Fi, recommending the nearby Italian restaurant or something like this. Also think about gaming or content in general. So the smartphone is increasingly used really to consume content. And we think that this will further accelerate, so you will easily connect your device with a bigger screen and then just use your smartphone as kind of entertainment hub. There are quite a few other trends we see. I want to highlight two of them because I will talk about them in more detail. That are actually the first two bullets on the slide. So first one is about what we call proximity or proximal communication and multi-screen experience. I haven't seen imagery from Google yet, but probably you have noticed that Google has released a very interesting study on multi-screen experiences. So we strongly believe that this is further taken up. And the other one is augmented reality. So the smartphone is already quite smart and is increasingly able to provide you with more information. So we think that augmented reality is a very interesting technology in this context to provide additional value to the end user. All these experiences are quite important also for us as a chipset company, because in the end they are increasingly selling devices. Just look at recent examples like Amazon Kindle, Google Nexus 7, or Windows Surface RT. You already find quite valuable content and apps preloaded onto the devices, providing a real tangible benefit to the end user. So these experiences created by the content and by the apps is increasingly put into the middle of ads and campaigns. So they are really quite important when it comes to marketing and sales activities. As I said in the beginning, Qualcomm is a chipset company, so our core business is pretty much related to the layers hardware, and this is closely linked to the high-level OS. So we are focusing on designing leading hardware components, which we bring into our chipset solution. However, we fully understand that in the end, it's the user experiences that matter. And this is why we have developed an integrated ecosystem approach, which is basically linking all the different layers you see on the slide. So meaning connecting hardware and high-level OS support with some advanced software technologies we have developed. There's also a support layer. So we're not only providing the technologies, but we are also helping the developers to actually deploy them. Let me just give you some numbers, what it means when I'm saying leading hardware. So with our Snapdragon chipset or processor solution, we have accomplished a leadership position in the market. So actually we work with more than 70 manufacturers shipping our chipsets. We work with more than 130 carriers around the globe. We have already announced more than 500 devices which you find in the market. We do have a very strong pipeline, so actually more than 400 designs are already in development. This also includes more than 30 tablets that are either already on the market or coming quite soon. So, and just mentioned it, the chipsets and therefore also the devices become more and more powerful. So our most powerful chipset generation is called S4. And we already have more than 175 Snapdragon S4 designs in development, meaning that I think this is also quite relevant news for you as a developer, because the more powerful the chipset is, the more capabilities we have in order to use quite demanding apps on the device. So this opens up new opportunities for you as well. As Qualcomm, we have developed a broad range of advanced software technologies which we offer to developers. I just want to highlight actually two of them, which are VASForum and Qualcomm. Qualcomm is a proximity-based peer-to-peer communication solution. It's actually an open source software development framework, which enables developers to enable new use cases, such as entertainment experiences, so that you can easily share content, social experiences, which are allowing to connect and interact at different needs. Last but not least, also multi-screen experiences. So I've mentioned quite a few examples here. All of them are actually providing this value for the user that he can connect with nearby devices by just being on the same Wi-Fi or Bluetooth network. So you can easily connect with people nearby and their devices, independent of the chipset and even independent of the platform. So Qualcomm supports a broad range of different platforms, not only Android but also iOS, Windows RT, Windows, PC 7.8, Linux, and others. To be clear, it's also running on competitive chipsets, so it's not restricted to Snapdragon chipsets. I do have a short video for you, just to illustrate what Alljohn is and how it actually can provide value add to the end user. Let me just summarize what Alljohn is actually doing before I talk about portfolio. So Alljohn really resolves the problem of heterogeneity. So it connects nearby devices connected via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, enables to exchange and interact across devices, independent or regardless of the platform, since we are supporting a broad range of different platforms, and is therefore enabling new use cases. And we think this is creating some value for the end user, making the smartphone more appealing. You might wonder why is Qualcomm doing this stuff, because it's not restricted to our chipset, so what is our rationale? First of all, we want to provide value add to the end user, which is driving the overall market. And we're also quite convinced about our hardware. For Alljohn, for example, you need Wi-Fi Bluetooth, so you need a modem. And we think that we are able to offer quite a good modem in the market. So end users will realize how important needing hardware components are in order to enjoy superior user experience. Let me now speak a little bit about VASForum. So VASForum is our platform for augmented reality. It has been especially designed for mobile platforms, and this is one of the differentiators. So it's really bringing new experience to the end users. Augmented reality means that you have a real world view by your camera, and you are just, after you have recognized what you are seeing with your camera in the real world, then augmented reality simply adds virtual contact to this real world view, so that you end up in getting a more comprehensive and rich or augmented view on what you're actually seeing. And this is also working on different platforms. So actually we are supporting Android, iOS, and Unity, working on further platforms to come. This solution, in combination with the support of different platforms, opens up new, powerful, and we think relevant use cases for the end users. And to be clear, it's not limited to gaming. So gaming is an obvious one. We've already heard yesterday, it's by far the most important category in terms of installations. But you can also leverage VASForum quite good to enrich media campaigns, for example. And last but not least, we also see very interesting examples in the educational and instructional space, especially where you have either very complex things which you would like to simplify by using this functionality, also add some information. So I do have developers who are, for example, working on school books, enriching school books. Students at school nowadays have smartphones usually, so they can use their smartphones, and learning definitely becomes another experience compared to what we used to have 40 years back. So let me also show a video on VASForum and what it can actually mean to computers. We already find a couple of very interesting VASForum deployments also here in Russia. So I don't know if you have recently been to Gorky Park, for example. So there was an exhibition where you were able to use the VASForum app in order to get some additional information. It was basically about comparing past with present. So how Gorky Park has changed, the buildings in Gorky Park have changed over time. And that was illustrated by this VASForum app. Or if you have been to McDonald's here in Russia, I think in the end of May, June, just before the European Football Championships, you were able to play a VASForum enabled game. Was actually kind of a penalty kick. So your burger box was the target, and you used the smartphone with the VASForum app installed in order to play this penalty game. And there are quite a few more examples. So we have launched VASForum Q1 2011 and have already more than 2,100 commercial VASForum apps available around the globe, and have more than 43,000 registered developers for VASForum. So this is really taking up, and just to summarize what it's actually doing. So it's augmenting the reality by adding virtual content to the real world view. It's supporting Android and iOS as well as Linux. We are working on further platforms, and it's therefore enabling new use cases, and we think that this is also enriching user experience. I've talked a little bit about these technologies. This might be relevant for you as developers as well, as free of charge. VASForum, at least the basic version, is also free of charge. we are going to launch a dynamic version in December. Difference is the dynamic version is much more flexible, supporting up to 1 million images, which is quite powerful and especially relevant, just think of retail stores, for example. So we are running close beta with American Apparel right now on this one. The basic version, already supporting 80 images, is also free of charge for developers. And the examples you have seen are all based on this static version, which is free of charge. So we are providing these two technologies and others in terms of SDK free of charge on our developer portal called QSNet. If you check it out, you'll see quite a few other technologies. So for the first phase, for the development phase, we simply offer a broad range of technologies which you can consider, which are complementary for you, which you can use to come up with superior user experience. We don't limit ourselves only to the development stage, we also support you on the distribution side. So in selected cases, we partner with the developer and support them in getting distributed. So we promote those apps if they are differentiated by technology deployment. To get started, just check out this portal, download the SDK, read through the technical guides we are also providing there, and register free of charge. Also to start discussion, to use our technical forums. If you pose a question there, you usually get a response from our engineers within 2 business days. Just to give you a flavor of when I say get feedback from our engineers, we as Qualcomm, we're an organization with more than 23,000 engineers, 23,000 employees, 80% are engineers. So we definitely have resources and support you to be more successful in the market by deploying the technologies. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your presentation. My question. What's your key message, once again, to developers and content providers? How they should work with you? How they should start?
So if you want to differentiate, if you want to differentiate in the market, then simply check out our developer portal, explore the technologies, and see whether it makes sense for you to deploy the technologies by integrating the respective SDKs into your app development projects. If you're interested, I'm very happy to support you. This is actually why I'm here. And let's simply start a discussion on this one. So it's definitely about differentiation, about coming up with a superior user experience, so that you hopefully become even more successful in the market.
Can you mention any successful cases with Russian partners already work in person?
We have just recently started with the ecosystem activities here in Russia. So Russia is a very important market for us. However, in terms of ecosystem activities, we are just active for a couple of months here. So I've already mentioned the Phobia space. I've already mentioned some examples here in Russia. So Gorky Park is definitely one of them. The project which our developer has realized with McDonald's Russia is also one of them. Another example is big promotion with Ivan Dorn. I don't know if you guys know him. I didn't know him before. So he was promoted on hundreds of billboards, at least in Moscow, I think in May. And there was also there has been developed a very good phobia for this one. In regard to Alljohn, we already have some projects, but they are, first of all, they are not completed yet, and therefore I cannot share information on this.
Thank you. Еще вопросы? Опять с командой здесь весь день, и сможете задать вопрос Ильичу. Спасибо большое.